Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's Anna, the crazy geek crafter. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a situation. Jaina and Morgan are quite sticky today. Their father is on a business trip, so I'm just their whole world, and I can't do anything without them. And the same was true yesterday. This is Jaina invading my space because Morgan is off camera on the rest of the table. So if you can hear some weird noises, that's because right now they're both on my table and want to climb into my lap. But I can't let them because that will ruin this recording. So this first part, it was impossible to work. So the only thing I'm going to do is stamp the image that I want to make with my new stamp from Love2Stamp from Party Time. I want to do a card with the giraffe. You saw that in the thumbnail already, but that's all I'm going to be able to do right now because they really they want to cuddle. So we're going to go take a nap, and then when I come back, at least Morgan would be satisfied. So I'll only have Jaina on the table, and she can stay off camera. And this will also give the stamped images time to dry enough that they won't smear when I color them. And the coloring, as always, is with my Shin hand markers. I pick out red for the flag, a yellow, brown yellow, and then a true brown for the giraffe. And the lines on this are very narrow, so I'm very careful. And I decide to just color over all the spot with the yellow first, and then I can darken them with the brown, and that works out just fine. But the lines between the spots are so narrow that this was the best option in my opinion. I go in with the light marker first to try and figure out where I want my dark colors to be. And then I take the dark color and go over that and then add if there's anything I think I've missed. I should have used free markers for this, but I didn't have free markers in this color range. Not yet, anyway. But it worked out okay. I'd say I'm pretty happy with the result. With the giraffe all sorted, I need to figure out a background, and I want to use this new stencil I bought, but to do the background, I'm just going to do it directly on the white card base. This is a slimline 10 by 21 centimeters, the confront, that's it. That is not the entire piece, of course. It's pre-made, and I keep it in my drawer, and I like that a lot. But I wanted a border around, and I just picked my regular tape here, but it was maybe a bit too wide for the project. I'm putting it all over my clothes to try and take off some of the tacky to prevent it from ruining my card front. I almost succeed, spoiler alert. but I do my best. So I line it up all the way around, and then I can get to the stenciling part. I am very happy for this mat that my boyfriend, at that time boyfriend, now fiance, bought me for Advent at Christmas. It really encourages me to use my stencils more. But I'm going to tape off the top so I don't get color beyond the stencil, and I'm going to tape off the flags that are not whole. In this case it's only one, but when I get to the other side I'll need to cover up more of them to try and make the pattern seamless, because this stencil doesn't seem to be made to repeat as far as I can see. But I make it work. I do get seriously inky fingers from this, and red is a terrible color. It's gonna take me days to get it off. So now I'm trying to line up to get good coverage here without covering up any of the flags I already have. See, I'm just surgically going in here with pieces of tape to cover up anything that ruined the pattern. I'm not perfectly happy with the result. One of the small flags is very close to another one. I think a bigger flag. I don't know if you see it. It's almost on top of it, but not entirely. But I think it's gonna work anyway. It's a small detail, and probably only me who will notice it. So I hope I can trouble you if you'll help me, please. There is this creature inside of YouTube called algorithm, and you need to feed it, because then more people will get to see my channel. And I'm saying you, I can't do it myself, so I'm asking you, please, will you help me? It will be really appreciated. And all this time, Jana has been lurking out to the side, but now she sees the clean table and she thinks, now it's my turn. Now mommy wants to talk to me. And she just comes into the picture and steps all over things. Luckily nothing got ruined, and she didn't knock anything over or send it flying across the room, because her tail it's a helicopter. That's what we call him, called the helicopter. And if you're really lucky, you get two halves of a helicopter, because her her tongue has the same tendency to be everywhere. She really licks everything, everyone. It can be very annoying, but she's very affectionate, and I think that is it. And I think I'm hearing some music, good music there. Sorry, that looked like I was having a seizure or something. That was just me being happy with this giraffe. I think it's so cool. I'm really hating the next part that I'm gonna have to cut it out. Can't remember if I do that first or or after I do the shaker, actually. It would seem after, and also after the sentiment, because the sentiment apparently comes first. Yeah. This red is too dark. This one is more the right color. Maybe should have given the flags even more color than I had, but well, you live and you learn. Now this die, I think it's gonna be some work before it's my favorite, but I really like the look of it. Just have to figure out how to get it out without it getting distorted and getting it cut completely, because it didn't actually cut all the way through here, so it needs more than one pass at least. And for the next one I'm going to even try inserting a piece of paper behind it, so that I'm sure the red piece is cut out, and then if the bottom layer is cut, then I can use that one too. There were some pieces that weren't cut out completely between the T and the I, and that kind of ruined the whole of it. It tore. Sorry. So I had to start over. So that's why I'm bringing in the heavier white paper here, so that the dye, I'm sure that the dye cuts out the red part. But it is the getting the dye cut out of the dye that is my real problem here. It cuts better with this more pressure, and I run it for a few times to be even more certain that it's done. But yeah. So I figure out I have to do the trick where I run my toothpick along the slim parts here. But since everything was truly cut, then there wasn't a problem once I got it out. And the white one cut too. There was one part that was a bit stuck still, but it didn't tear, so I could use it. And lining these two up is yeah, it's not easy. I didn't get it right, but I figured I'd just use it anyway. I'll have to figure this out somehow. I think maybe I'll need to glue the pieces of cardstock together before I run them through next time to have a thicker layer. And then maybe it'll be easier to line up the next pieces if I want to do even more layers. There's a limit to how many pieces of cardstock I can stack and run through the die cut machine, of course. But you see it gets more and more distorted towards the end. But I'm hoping that the recipient won't comment on that. It was very finicky, but I really love the result. Especially once we add in the stars. That will also enable me to pop it up, the sentiment. Yeah, let's speed up this part here because it's tedious, and yeah, it's just so much more magical when you do it at 8 times the speed, right? It looked like I'm a real pro here. But it was actually quite easy to cut out. The hands were the worst part, actually. I was a bit surprised at that. I should have known, but the rest was super easy. It was some very nice curves that, and of course the horns were a bit troublesome too, but mainly the knuckles on the hands were my problem. Now that all the main pieces are done, let's do the shaker. Well, maybe that is also a main piece. It's just, I don't know. But I'm using Barto design here. That's the only stars I have, so that's what it is. And some yellow paper. And I don't know the brand of this one either. So actually there are 2 pieces here. They were quite stuck together. So I don't mind it. On the shaker it won't matter because I'll glue the giraffe on top and it'll hold the extra star in place. On the smaller one, the one from the middle, I'll just glue the 2 layers together and it'll give it more stability, because this was quite thin cardstock. I'm even tempted to maybe designate it as paper. And then I use some Crafter's Companion acetate, and Jaina makes another appearance. Because I stood up to get the acetate, and now she thinks it's time to do other things. But it's not yet. So I cut out the star. I can put my die cutting things away. And then I'm gonna take my scissors and cut just outside the pierced line of the star. This will make it easier for me to fit it underneath the frame. It won't stick out the sides if I'm a bit off. I think it makes it a lot easier. And this frame is wide enough that I still have room for the glue. Plenty of room, actually. So that's very nice. I'm gonna have to remember that about the star here. So let's let that dry for a bit while I find some foam tape. If you've been with me lately, you know that I am having trouble with my non-stick scissors sticking, and I decided while the star was drying anyway, I would try to clean it with a alcohol wipe for glasses. This is the easiest way for me to keep alcohol around, so I figured I'd do that, but I accidentally cut myself on 2 fingers actually doing that, but it did become a bit less sticky. So I put on a band-aid and kept crafting. Of course. The main reason for the band-aid was because I was actually bleeding and I didn't want any blood on the card. It was troublesome enough that I had red ink on my fingers. So I just cut small pieces to fit all around the star. Yeah, I'm marking the point with my nails. It is finally time for the confetti, or in this case it's called a sequin mix. It's called Pastel Starbust, and I really like it, but I did go a bit overboard with the amount. But now that I finally found my spoon, I love that I'll be easily spooning out the confetti pieces for my shakers. And they do have a nice sound to them as well. And getting the tape off was a bit of a problem. I've seen people use a pokey tool for this, so I figured I'd find something pointy and use it. And this was the nearest thing I had, and it worked out quite nice once I got the hang of it. The trick is to poke it really near the edge and go all the way through the release paper so you can pull it up. You do tear the foam a bit on that corner, but I don't think it matters much. Before I pack away all my foam, I just wanted to give this another try with cleaning it, and yeah, it went pretty well until I did this and I cut my yet another finger, yes. So 2 bandages, and yeah, moving on. The scissors are still not entirely non-stick, but we're getting there. But I figured I didn't want a third bandage for the day, so I just clean that next time. Maybe get some alcohol in a bottle so I can pour it on a cotton swab or something, or a cotton pad. Maybe that'll protect my fingers better from the blade. But yeah. So with the star behind the sentiment, I can pop it up. And I'm not actually going to do anything else to the card because I don't think I need to glue confetti all over it. I think this is all it needs. That giraffe just sells it. I cannot get over that giraffe. I'm sorry. I'm normally not much of a giraffe person, but this giraffe it's so cool. So here's the card. I hope you enjoyed it, that you'll be back next week for another card, or Wednesday for a live. Hopefully Jana won't need to go to the vet this time. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening or night. På gensyn.